Hi, this is Chico Resch. You are listening to the Let's Go Devils podcast on the Primetime Radio Network.
Happy Devils Tuesday. Welcome to Game Day Live, presented by the Let's Go Devils Podcast Network and the Primetime Radio Studios, along with Crew Brew. My name is Vinnie Parise here in Chicago, Illinois, and we have Shorts Guy from the other side of the planet as we get you ready for New Jersey Devils hockey as they take on the Pittsburgh Penguins. I almost had a brain fart on who they were playing. The Pittsburgh Penguins. Welcome to all fans watching on YouTube Live, Facebook Live, Twitter Live, and Twitch. The New Jersey Devils are taking on the Penguins tonight. You got Crosby, you got Malkin, you got Hughes, you got Heischer. Shorts Guy, you got Manchester United, or was it West Ham you were seeing today?
Yeah, it was West Ham United, not Man U.
And we got Sam Wu.
And we do have Sam Wu, who likes AC Milan.
Yeah, I'm day to day with my carpal tunnel syndrome.
Oh no!
Yeah,
poor Sam.
Yeah. Oh no! I'm sorry. I shouldn't have even said that. Is this an upper body injury?
Yes,
it's a UBI. Yes, it's a UBI.
Even though when your hands hang low, they hang next to portions of your body that are considered the lower body injury, correct?
Yeah.
If you had a hip injury, you'd have a lower body injury. So when your hands are, most of your lifespan of your hands are on your lower body, no?
I guess so. I suppose. But Sam officially has a UBI. We're not allowed to officially disclose what he has, but he does have a UBI.
No. I thought Sam was gonna bring some insight on tonight's game against the Pittsburgh Penguins when he popped in, and he just stared right into the camera and was like, "I got an injury."
Yeah. One of those.
I bring nothing
white
to the
collar
table.
Injury.
Yeah, I'm bring nothing to the table. That's all I want to say.
Yeah,
outside
it's that
of
white. It's one of those white collar injuries.
He says he brings nothing to the table. I was going to say outside of being extremely good looking. Shorts Guy, how's London?
Oh, London's great. We've been here for about 24 hours now because it's now 10:30. Yeah, I landed about 9:30 last night, so I've been here for about 24 hours. I got to see some of the sites this morning. Had a really good lunch. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to meet up with good friends of the podcast, Justin and Jake. Just the schedule doesn't work out, but it would have been cool to see those two guys. Took in the West Ham match tonight, and going to go to the Liverpool match on Thursday. So we got a lot of stuff going on. But Vinny, I have a question for you. I'm going to blow your mind, but I want to get your thoughts on this. How much do you think that I paid for a beer inside the stadium tonight?
A beer inside the stadium. Now, are we talking U.S. dollars or pounds?
You can give me both. You can give me either one because I have the answer for both.
I do not know.
Like a 20-ounce draft, maybe a 16-ounce draft beer.
Okay, I do not know how to properly translate the U.S. dollar into pounds, but I'm assuming you're asking me for a reason. So it obviously doesn't fit the standard 9, 10, $11 that it is here in the U.S. So I'm going to guess, is it extra expensive or is it extra cheap? I'm going to guess it's extra cheap. I'm going to say you paid $3 for a beer at the match tonight.
Oof. That would have been great, but it was better than the $17 we spend at home. $7.
Oh, $7. Okay.
I think
$7 for a beer at a sporting event is fair. So how many pounds is that?
Well, it was cheaper before, like 45 minutes before kickoff, so it was actually $5.50 in pounds.
Okay. Got it. I love to hear that. I mean, was it tasty?
Yeah, it was an Amstel, so it was okay.
Okay. Pretty cool. Now, the Devils, our favorite team in the hockey world, they lost their most recent game. It was a heartbreaker. Buffalo Sabres, they were winning 2-0.
Yeah.
Gave up 5 unanswered goals. Tage Thompson scored 4 goals. It's been a while since we've seen the Devils give up a 4-goal game, but what was your thoughts on that game before we dive into the Pitts Pens?
Well, that game was good until, Buffalo started to score, and as soon as Buffalo started to score, it seemed to be all downhill from there. The Devils forgot to play. Jake Allen still played well. He made a couple really great saves. But other than that, the Devils just kind of gave up after they went up 2. They were like, all right, cool. Game's done. And then obviously it wasn't done. and they wound up losing. It was pretty annoying.
The Pittsburgh Penguins were sellers at the trade deadline this year. They shipped out Jake Gensel. He was the number one trade target at the deadline this year. He goes to Carolina, and all of a sudden Pittsburgh starts playing like they did way back when. They're one of the hottest teams in the NHL right now. They actually have 1 point on the Devils coming into this game, which I believe the last time these two teams met up, the Pittsburgh Penguins
Mhm.
had 1 extra point on the Devils with the same amount of games played. So to say it's a big game would be an understatement. Philly did lose in overtime yesterday, so once
Okay,
again,
good.
we come into the show saying that if the Devils win, they're X amount of points out. It would be 5 points out if they win today. Nothing's impossible until it's over. But I mean, for all
Yeah.
intents and purposes, it's probably over. But a good win against the Pittsburgh Penguins would probably go a long way in terms of confidence. We talk about basically since we started the show, every time the Devils play the Penguins, I go in with this same mindset, like, if you're Jack Hughes, if you're Nico Hischier, even Luke Hughes, playing a different position, but still young
Mhm.
player whose mind could be molded, you got some guys on that other bench over there who have basically reached the pinnacle of everything you could do in the game of
Yep.
hockey. I think Malkin is probably a top 5 Russian player ever, maybe top 3. And Sidney Crosby might be a top 5, top 6 player, no matter their nationality, ever. So
Yeah.
those are some big shoes to fill on the other side of the ice. Even though they're not quite the same as they were maybe 5-6 years ago when they were winning Stanley Cups. Yesterday, Crosby did clinch his 19th straight points per game season. You do
Mhm.
that by guaranteeing that you'll have more points than games played. Just remarkable stuff from him and Gino for all these years. What do you look for going into a game like this?
Well, I'm looking forward to maybe the Devils, or not to maybe, but I'm looking forward to the Devils keeping their streak of the Penguins and defeating them at home alive. This is always a very hard building for the Penguins to come in for whatever reason. Despite all the Crosbys and the Malkins, the Penguins just definitely come into our building and they don't do well. I mean, case in point, the last game that we played against them, I think that was the ninth. No, that wasn't the ninth. Yeah, it was the 19th, shortly after our trip out west.
Yep.
The Devils just looked like they were world beaters, and I know the Penguins are lower in the standings and they haven't been doing so hot. But that's what I would like to see the Devils just to show up tonight and be like, oh yeah, we're playing Pittsburgh. We do well against these guys when we play them at home, and then proceed to go do that because we need these points. Like you said, Pittsburgh's a point behind. Philly's losing. Like everything is in our power in order to do well. We just got to do it, and we got to start winning. Like the 2 points against Buffalo would have been fantastic, but got to move on. Got to get these points tonight because tomorrow's going to be a hell of a game, and I'm sure we'll touch on tonight.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, tomorrow's game against the New York Rangers is something you look forward to. It'll be on national TV, TNT. You'll have
Hmm.
Biz, you'll have Vance and Carter. I mean, it's a whole show, a whole spectacle for Devils versus Rangers. But you got to get those 2 points tonight against the Pittsburgh Penguins if tomorrow's going to be any fun at all whatsoever. You hope that the Devils don't fall like Shorts Guy's phone did right there.
Yeah,
Um,
seriously,
but
man, switching hands and I dropped the camera.
it happens. It happens. The first ever episode of Game Day Live
Hmm.
was Chicago Blackhawks versus New Jersey Devils, and it got cut short maybe 7 minutes into the program
Oh
because
no!
one of the bartenders at, I think it was Taj Lounge 973 at the time, one of the bartenders knocked over one of Sam's cameras and it destroyed the show, and we were done
Ugh,
after 7 minutes,
I
and
could
the
see that
Devils won
happening.
that game in overtime. Jack Hughes, it was kind of Jack Hughes's like breakout game. Like we were still a little wishy-washy on what kind of star he
Yeah,
was going to
yeah,
become. He had 3 points in that game and has basically
yeah.
been an elite player ever since. Sam jumped in right when I brought that up, kind of bring back
We
the
not
sour
only
grapes there.
lost one, we lost 3 cameras
Oh my
that day
gosh!
because of that one bartender.
Yep,
Because of that
that
one
was crazy.
bartender, he destroyed 3 cameras. And then when I talked to Scotty for Devils After Dark, we went through the entire pandemic without missing Devils After Dark. But we missed Scotty. I have no cameras. What do you mean I don't have cameras? I have no cameras. But can we do After Dark? We don't have any cameras, Scotty. What do you want
And
me to
it
do?
was the best game of the entire season.
I know. Yeah,
Like
the stick toss. That was the
the
stick toss.
it was
Yep.
the
Oh,
stick
the stick
toss.
toss
Yep.
game.
The
Yep.
Yeah. I remember
22
that game.
the 21-22 Devil season was my least favorite season as a fan, I think, of all the years, because like it was horrible. They used 7 goalies that year, but like
Uh-huh.
that was the one night I think Patrick Kane or someone tied it late. The Devils were winning. Dougie Hamilton scored 7 seconds into the game,
Hmm.
and they were up 1-0 early, and they had the lead the whole game. Well, the Hawks scored 2 goals in the third period, and then in overtime, Jack Hughes just with a sick. I can't remember. He made a good play with someone. I can't remember who it was. It was obviously post Taylor Hall or anything like that. But that is a memory that will never go away because of the broken camera, and then Hughes having the stick toss. That's a whole tangent that we just went on because you dropped your phone. Sorry about that.
Well,
Um,
hey, I hope it brings us the same amount of luck.
yeah. Oh, fair.
That I
When
think is
when
I feel like that's the tangent you were going towards by me
when
dropping my
cameras
phone.
hit the floor, the Devils do well. So let's keep that going.
Let's do it.
So
Let's do
Sam,
it.
Sam,
Uh,
broken camera, broken camera. My camera is attached to my computer. If I close my computer, I will cease to exist on this program until I
you
relog
will.
back
You
in.
will.
So yeah, you got Crosby, Malkin, Letang, and Carlson on the back end. I mean, those guys are
Hmm.
dangerous too. I believe it's going to be Tristan Jarry in net for Pittsburgh. So he's a good goaltender. I think people in Pittsburgh are kind of tired of him, but that's just because
They
of
are.
what they're coming off of. If they don't have a all-world Hall of Fame goaltender, they've become kind of spoiled. But I think Jarry's a pretty good goalie. If the
He's
Devils are gonna,
inconsistent. That's the
that's a
thing. He's
great way to
very
describe him.
inconsistent. So and that's frustrating. We know what it's like to have inconsistent goaltending. We've been dealing
Yep.
with it for years at this point. So I can understand their dislike for him. Little Steve from Hockey on Tap, he's ready for Jari to no longer be the Penguins goalie. We were making up mock trades and fake trades, and he would always hope that we would take Jari or someone would take Jari, but no one's going to take him.
Does Jarry seem like one of those goalies to you though, where if he went to another team, he could possibly turn into something, reach a new level, like you saw with Cam Talbot moving on. It took Darcy Kemper a little bit to really become a star in the
Hmm.
league. He wasn't the same Darcy Kemper with the Wild that he was early. A good example, Dubnik. When Dubnik was with Edmonton, he was terrible. The team sucked, but he goes to Minnesota, and they made it to the second round, and it took that dynasty Blackhawks team to take them out. I
Hmm.
mean, that happens sometimes. So
It
I'd be
does,
real
and it's
careful with
possible.
Jari.
It's possible, but I don't think he would be consistent enough somewhere else to play more than like maybe 2 years as a really good goalie.
Very
So,
fair.
but
So,
hey, you know what? Sometimes that change of scenery is all a player needs.
absolutely. So like, what's a what's a key to the Devils getting this win then? With the Jari and net, aging superstars on the other side. Devils have played well lately, other than the Buffalo game. I think we could say
Hmm.
they've played well lately, string together some wins against good teams. The Penguins team, they're an average team.
They are. But they're dangerous still, and that's what they got to be mindful of. The Penguins are below us in the standings, but you've got like you mentioned, all those players: Crosby, Malkin, Jari can play well when Jari wants to play well, or when he decides to play well. So they're a team that can do a lot and be really good against you, as they've been doing occasionally. But the Devils just have to go out there and just get the 2 points. That's really all that matters is just get the 2 points tonight.
One last thing I wanted to touch on before we get to predictions and all that. Um, I'm trying to get the exact numbers right now. So Luke Hughes is tied with Faber, Brock
Hmm.
Faber of the Minnesota Wild for second in rookie scoring. Connor Bedard's going to win the Calder Trophy. I really think
Yeah,
it's a
Connor
foregone
Bedard's going to win
conclusion at this time.
win every rookie thing this year.
Yeah, but Luke Hughes get a nomination in your brain?
I don't know if Luke will get a nomination. I don't know if he's stood out that much as a rookie. I mean, I would love for him to get a nomination. I don't know if he will though. Maybe I'm wrong, but he's a really great defenseman, but he's still learning. I still think he came up too early, and he's still learning on the job in a sense. So if I, don't- I don't even know if I don't even think a nomination will be there for him.
I wonder if his last name wasn't Hughes or if he were drafted by any other team,
Hmm.
maybe besides Vancouver. If he would have went back to Michigan for another year and or played 1 year in the AHL, because playing 1 year in the AHL seems to have served Simone Nemitz well.
Yeah, and I think that would have served Luke well the same. If he would have had a year in the AHL to get used to the speed, to get used to the grind of playing double the games that he's used to playing, and then coming up to play with the Devils. But the problem was we had to bring him up because of injuries. So it really wasn't a matter of if we could or if they needed to, but I mean they absolutely needed to. So uh, it is what it is. He's on this team now, and I highly doubt he's going to get sent down for some for any work in the AHL. But he definitely could have used that year this year.
100%. I hope he gets nominated because I do think offensively he's as gifted as any young teenage defenseman that we've seen. He's 20 now.
Hmm.
So we'll see what happens there. I do think the future is very bright for him, and I'm hoping that he has a big game tonight against the Penguins. The stars of the Devils have seemed to shine in these types of games. So um, I I don't know. It's going to be fun to watch, though. I need people in the chat right now to get the predictions in because we are running out of time on the show, and I know
We
you
are.
have a different clock than the rest of us right now. So I think it's about that time we have these people put their predictions in the chat. Shorts guy, before we give our predictions, I'm a
Yeah,
little thirsty.
you're a little thirsty. Okay, you probably have a beer. I had a couple beers today.
Yeah, you paid 5.5 pounds for one.
Yeah, in the stadium, no less.
Yeah, much cheaper
Um,
than here in the United States of America.
Absolutely. Let's see. You should have something that's red.
Can you get red beer in London?
No, I got a red ale, but it wasn't the same red as this beer I'm thinking.
Oh, were either of the two teams you watched today wearing the color red?
They were not.
Oh,
One was
weird.
wearing West Ham is claret and blue, so it's like a
Okay,
maroon.
got it. I like red.
Hmm.
Yeah, red beer's nice.
Yeah, I think we have a red beer that you should mention.
I don't
Down
know
in
what
the
you're talking
corner.
about.
It's down in the corner. Check out the lower corner of the screen. Not the QR code, the other corner.
People are listening on audio. They're going, "What corner? What corner?"
And Crew Brew.
And Crew Brew. Join our crew today. You get to meet Sam Wu and drink and Crew Brew, where we make winning memories together, one crew at a time. And Crew Brew. I have some and Crew Brew coming my way later this month. Are you excited?
Yes, you do. I'm
It is
excited for you to have
finally
this. I'm
April.
excited because it's you're gonna have it on the podcast, and
I am.
I know. And as we're talking about this, I just get a text from my dad. So my parents are watching. Hello to my parents. My dad just asked if the beer was warm, and it was not always warm.
There you go. There you go. What's the temperature
Yeah.
like?
It's the same as home right now. It's about upper 40s, mid 50s. It was nice
Oh,
during the day when the
nice.
sun was out, and then it started to rain during the match, so it was a little chilly.
That is nice. It's been raining here in Chicago
Hmm.
for the last 72 hours.
Oh
Maybe a
boy.
little less. Maybe a little less. But it's been cloudy and dim for at least 72 hours and a lot of rain at least for the last 24. So
Hmm.
that sucks. That's partially why there was no baseball for me today. That's 100% the
Yeah.
reason there was no baseball for me today. But yeah, and Crew Brew, make sure you drink it. When I was at the Stadium Series and I knew I was getting some in April, that felt like 100 years later.
Yeah,
I'm
it's a
like,
long wait.
we're all these months later finally, and I finally get to have some. So that's nice. Shorts guy, what do you think is going to happen in today's game between the New Jersey Devils and
All
the
right.
Pittsburgh Penguins?
So if the Devils do what they should and could do tonight, they should be able to beat this Pittsburgh Penguins team and get 2 points. It's every game is do or die, and in every game we have game day live, we're just that much closer to a playoff spot. But I think the Devils are going to go on to beat the Penguins tonight, and I'm going to predict the Devils do that 5-2.
5-2. 5-2. It's a good score. Our good friend Sam Wu thinks they're going to win this game 6-4. Wouldn't that be cool?
That would be very cool.
I'm a fan of that score from Sam. Survey says 4-3 Pens. What? Come on now. Joseph says 5-0 Devils. Steve Engel says 5-2 Devils. Lil Bubs says 4-2 Devils. Ted wants to know if you're safe.
I am safe.
Ted is concerned.
I am
now
safe.
I'm concerned.
It's it's
You're safe.
nothing to be concerned about. Even though we're running around the same neighborhoods that Jack the Ripper once did, we're safe.
Nice. I spend a lot of the time. I spend a lot of the time in the town where John Wayne Gacy did his damage.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, wow.
that's
and you're safe.
I'm totally safe. I'm not in that town right now though, but I am a
Okay.
lot. Off a tangent off of Ted just making sure that we're okay. Thank you, Ted. We appreciate your concern for shorts guys' safety, and I assume you care about my safety maybe. Ted says 5-3 Devils though.
Okay.
Nick says 5-1 Diablos. Ooh, why do we never say that? Why do we never call them the Diablos?
Okay, so it's because the Devils tried to do their own fan/supporter group section, calling it the Diablos, and they wanted so much control over it that they allowed nothing fun to happen there. So the Diablos became kind of a joke.
Did you ever play Diablo, the game?
No, I did not.
Very fun. Very fun.
I've heard.
Those who have played in the chat, you know what I'm talking about. Michael says 3-1 Devils. They are rested, and Pens are coming off an emotional road win. Very true. They did everybody. They did the world a favor by beating the New York Rangers. That deflection Crosby scored last night. Don't let Sid.
I missed it.
The shorts guy. He was standing like 7 feet, maybe a little more, like 8, 9, 10 feet away from the net, but off to the side. And I believe he does this on purpose because he's done it so many times. You don't accidentally do it that many times.
No.
If like, who's a fourth line bum? Like if Nathan Bastian did it once, I love Nathan Bastian. I do.
Yeah. But
if he did it once, I'd be like, okay. Lucky deflection over there, Nate. Crosby does it 5 times a season. It literally, it's the difference of 5 or 6 goals for him a season. He deflected it in such a way where it went the other way, like he was turning a car.
I have to check it out.
It was sick, and I'm like, you beat a goalie like Shesterkin doing stuff like that, and so
well, that's how you beat a goalie like
Shesterkin.
Win.
Yes,
that's how you do that.
Yep, and the Devils will get. I don't know if they'll get quick tomorrow. They're off today, but that's a story for tomorrow.
We'll probably get Chesty.
Yeah. Morgan says 4-2 Devils, and that looks like it's it for the rest of the predictions. Someone literally put in the chat, playing Diablo 4 on Game Pass right now. Great game.
That's awesome.
Hell yeah. Yeah. The amount of time that was put into Diablo is crazy. And Ted points out that Sid and Igor, they got into it yesterday, which is true. You might remember Sid got into it with Lundqvist back in the day too. So Sidney Crosby and New York Ranger goalies, they don't mix well together on the ice. It's definitely oil and vinegar. Steve Engel says Nueva Jersey Diablos. I don't think that's how that would translate to Spanish, but we'll try. I think it would just be New Jersey Devils because it's a team name. But we're going to start calling them the Diablos if we don't get in trouble. Sam's going to have something to say to us after the podcast. Hey.
Here it is.
Right in time.
I think it would be Diablos de Nueva Jersey.
Oh, okay.
I think that's how you. I'm starting to relearn Spanish. Recently.
Thank you, Sam.
Yeah. Adios.
Adios, amigo. Hope everybody enjoyed the show today. I had a great time doing this with you, Shorts Guy. You got anything else you got to get off your chest before we head on out of here?
I do. I would like to take the close tonight if I can.
Take the close tonight, Shorts Guy. It's all yours. Happy Devils Tuesday.
I got the close. Rock over London, rock on Chicago. Let's go Devils.